And George H.W. Bush among them. Just wanted to get that
George
in.
H.W. Bush specifically, yes.
George H.W. Bush, this is like, it's sort of a Chapo punchline that got out of hand, but he was a CIA agent, at the time, so CIA officer later. He did claim that he doesn't remember where he was the day that JFK was killed, but it was in Texas, which is an insane thing to say. I choose to believe this is one of those coincidences where he was like busy, like sort of butchering some other unconnected dissident, and that's why he can't say. But
he was in the first floor of the Texas Book Depository.
Yeah, on an unrelated thing.
Totally unrelated.
He's like, no, I was in Texas trying to kill RFK.
I was smoking an entire side of brisket.
That's
in a cinder block hut in my backyard.
That's right.
Yeah, he was going to prove the president wrong about his Carolina barbecue opinions.
That's right.
Smoking a whole brisket.
My God,
This is going to be the best barbecue
that
Irish motherfucker's ever had.
This brisket will be mind-blowing, you might say.
He was waiting at the Dallas Trade Mart. Next slide, please.
This brisket is going to burn down the World Trade Center.
We now, because Noah is on this episode, we got to talk about Italians.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia! It's okay. Second suspect, the mob. That's right. So,
mob.
If you want to hear this theory expressed most artfully, but I would say least plausibly, you can watch The Irishman. It's a feature of this, where it's sort of like everybody in the mob kind of knows that the mob killed Kennedy. And it is true that the federal government had made many dealings with Italian American businessmen of a somewhat illegitimate nature. I mean, that went back since fucking forever, but like they had done it in the Second World War. They continue to do it because the mob had a lot of interest in Cuba, and therefore they had a lot of interest in overthrowing Castro. And there was sort of like a deniable expedient of like being able to use violence. So like the CIA was like talking to, they had each other's phone numbers. In terms of
also the mob, the Italian mafia was specifically in Italy rebuilt by the CIA and the United States government in order to sort of manage post-war Italy. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You think I'm a funny guy? In what way am I funny?
There's also the personal angle, which is JFK's mobster dad paid off the mob to get his son elected, and then when he was elected, because he was a no good piece of shit, he didn't show any respect to the mob, and in fact he tried to prosecute the mob, and he put his brother as attorney general in charge of prosecuting the mob, and that made the mob very nervous. That, I mean, it depends on how much you believe in that sort of like particular corruption, but also how much you believe JFK was like susceptible to the Kennedy thing of having no self-preservation.
Real talk. Can we take a look at this photo of JFK?
He's looking real normal.
Look at it. Look at my guy's eyes.
I like that. That's what you're focusing on here.
He is no longer on this earth.
Can I briefly explain what the fuck is going on in this?
Please.
Okay, so I believe the guy holding the pasta in his hand.
That is a rectangular shape right there.
That's right.
Or perfect 90-degree angle.
So the guy holding the pasta, I believe, is Alfredo Ilelio, who invented fettuccine Alfredo, which for some reason, so it used to be that you made that like table side. Like it used to be that was the whole
like
thing.
Bananas Foster?
Yeah, you'd prepare it tableside and then serve it to somebody. And for some reason, there's like a lot of photos of not this guy like fucking holding the pasta with his fucking bare hands. And
this
then, like,
was the Salt Bay of the fucking 60s.
Yeah, but also like other people. Like I think there's a photo of Douglas Fairbanks holding the pasta in his fucking two hands. And it makes me like it makes me like shiver at all the health code violations going on there. You know what I mean? It's
horrifying.
Disgusting. Also, fettuccine Alfredo.
So
Between,
my
the
thing.
Salt Bay and this guy's food is actually good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
apparently it's good. Like it tasted great,
Yeah.
apparently, but like this is just
Yeah.
fucked up.
Also, the reason why JFK looks extremely fucked up here is because he okay, so JFK was kind of a baller, right? Like he liked to drink a lot, he liked to fuck a lot. And also, he was permanently fucked up on pain pills because in during the war, being a war hero, he had absolutely fucked up his back. There was he had like he was susceptible to, he had like Addison's disease, which is some disease you get by being like inbred or whatever, I don't know. And then on top of that, he had
We are so thoroughly researched.
I really was gonna look at, and then he had the Japanese destroyer Akagi.
It's an adrenal insufficiency. It's an uncommon disorder that occurs when your body doesn't produce enough of certain hormones. In Addison's disease, your adrenal glands located just above your kidneys produce too little cortisol and often too little, oh boy, aldosterone?
Sure.
Yeah. You get it from being Irish.
Yeah, so he had this disease from being Irish.
Let's all settle down, Puerto Rico.
And then the Japanese destroyer Amagiri ran over his back and fucked his entire shit up even more. So as a consequence, he's like wearing a back brace all the time. He has to like do a shitload of operations. He's in a shitload of pain. And it becomes like psychologically linked to him to pussy. Like he is fully like, I have to fuck 2 women a day, otherwise my back will hurt.
You gotta admire the commitment, I guess.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
This man, you can tell he comes from a Hollywood dynasty.
As Killer Mike once rapped, good pussy and good marijuana, that be my medicine. And that's very much what it was like with JFK. Not sure about the weed, but pills.
Good pussy and pain pills, that be my medicine.
Got a bit of a got some 3 martini lunches in there too. For good measure.
Yeah, for sure.
Alcohol and pain pills is always a great combination.
Yeah, he didn't know where he fucking was most of the time.
It's just, I mean, so Joe Biden also doesn't know where he is most of the fucking time. So maybe like
this is the secret to like good moderate social democracy. Is you just got to get them so fucked up they don't know what they're signing.
There you go.
Exactly. It's common. They're also Catholic, which I don't know if that affects it.
Yeah, it seems mandatory at this point.
So far, yes.
The drunken master style of governance.
That's right. That's a good bit.
So the thing is, right, if I'm JFK, right, and I know that my dad has paid off the mob to get me elected president, I'm not then gonna investigate the mob unless I'm really fucked up on the pain pills.
Yes.
So the question then becomes like, did it happen and JFK just didn't know about it because Joe Sr. wanted to like keep his son's hands clean? Did it just not happen? We don't know. But in this case, we're specifically pointing the finger at Sam Giancana and Santo Trafficante. Those are the mob guys that everybody talks about.
Santo Trafficante.
That's genuinely the dude's fucking name. Like El Drug Trafficanto, yes.
Santo Trafficante, incredible. That's
Santo Trafficante, yes.
Jesus Christ.
So that's another suspect.
Is that a Mr. Softy truck I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn.
My window's open.
That'll do it.
So Giancana was Chicago at that point. Trafficante was Florida, amongst other things. And he was also the mafia's like point man for Cuba. Next slide, please, because we also got to talk about big business.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Industrialists.
Yes.
Foghorn Leghorn, a shadowy cabal of Texas oilmen. And other miscellaneous right-wing freaks. Wait, it specifically.
I'm just a simple Texas oilman. Silence gunshot that's going off in the background.
Yeah.